Hello and welcome to episode 27 of The Whole Story. I'm Charlotte and I'm joined by PO Paul, who is going to be talking to me today about performance reporting.
Charlotte, hello, what a treat. So here we are in the demo environment of Street Manager, and I happen to be logged in as a highway authority, but it could just as easily be a promoter. So for this functionality, you need to be an admin. So let's just scroll down, and here we see our performance reporting tile. So let's give this a click. And here we see our performance reporting options for different reports. So let's just take a second to drink these in. Total number of PAAs and PAs sent or received within the time frame based on date created. It's quite important, that bit. The outcomes of those permits. So these are based on the date the decision was made. So you could get some discrepancies there, you see. You could issue 12 PAAs in a month, but only assess 8 of them, and then you did 4 of them early the next month or whatever. So just wanted to flag up that. Then change requests similar to PAAs and PAs. Outcomes similar to the outcomes that we saw earlier. Inspection outcomes, that's a great one. I love that. That's just all of the different inspections based on the category and the outcome. And then we've got fixed penalty notices. So those are the reports that we've got at the present time. Now, let us run one of these reports. So I'm going to do PAAs and PA. And you can see here that it says a downloadable report within a 92 date range.
Why can't we run it for, say, an entire year?
Yeah, fair point, fair point. We did agonize over all of that stuff when we were building it. But for performance reasons and sort of size reasons, if you're a big HA or a big promoter, you could be waiting a good while if you were trying to pull off a whole year's worth of permits. So the quarters was the compromise, if you like, and it's not perfect, but if you end up doing it for a year, you can do 4 reports for the 4 quarters. So I'll do a quarter here, and let's just press continue. And then download report. So if you're familiar with Street Manager, you might well have done some exports before and been in the same position. Now, it's not often I get to say this, Charlotte, but here's one I made earlier. So before we started recording, I did the fixed penalty notices one for August. So let's download that. Here we go.
I hear this process has become a little quicker in recent months.
Yeah, it was one of those things we really worked hard on. They were a bit slow, and it was giving us some problems. We were getting quite a few tickets coming in about reports falling over and stuff. So the team did quite a lot of work to improve it, and the times they quoted me were pretty huge. Like I can't remember what it was now, but it was 4 hours was going down to 7 minutes, maybe, stuff like that. It was huge. It was a really big improvement they made, and I'm really pleased with it. So you can see here that we've got 2 promoters on our list. Those are the guys we've issued FPNs to. So under this section 70, we've issued 2, and we've got 0 accepted. And then for these guys, we've issued 1 under this section. And that's kind of the gist of it. It's not super exciting to see these CSVs in this format. It's much more exciting to use real data from the production environment, but that's the gist of it basically. So let's go back to Street Manager. Fingers crossed. There we go. That one is ready to download now. Like I say, not a huge amount of data because it's the demo environment, but let's have a look at this one as well, see what it looks like. Oh, so yeah, it's just the old smoke test promoter that we use in the demo environment. So in a more exciting world, you would see all of your organizations down the side, and there'd be PAAs. But here we've just had 51 standards, 2 minors, 2 majors, etc., etc. So there you go, Charlotte. That's a couple of the CSVs.
So let's say I'm a promoter. Does every authority that I work for appear on this sheet every time I run it?
Oh, great question. So the answer there is it only shows you organizations, be it promoters or authorities, where there's been some activity within the time scale that you're running the report for. So let's just go back. If you haven't received any inspections from Council X, they just won't appear in that list this month or this quarter, whatever it is. And the reason for that is we don't know who you work with, so we can't like populate a load of zeros for the councils that haven't sent you anything in that time period. We'd have to put in a load of, we'd have to include every council in Street Manager on that list, or every promoter. So no, the rule is if they did something, it will be on the list. So there we go. Any other questions for me, Charlotte?
Just are there any plans to add any more reports?
We had one on deeming that we didn't go for in the end, because you can get the deeming information from the applications and works page, and for a couple of other reasons we put that on the back burner. I think what I want to do is see how people feel about these 6, and if there's more that people want us to add, then by all means we can do it. But we got to get that balance right. You could do 50 reports and people would still have reports that they wanted, that was easy for you to say, specific to how their organization worked, so it's a tricky one for us. But yeah, we're happy to hear what people think about these.
You heard it there, get your questions in. So thank you for that, Paul, and that was episode 27 of The Whole Story.